Hello and welcome to another episode of Practical IT. In this episode we are building our Raspberry Pi print server, and we are going to try to do this using Ubuntu Server for Raspberry Pi. So I've already written the SD card for this and it's inserted in the Pi 4, and so I'm going to give this thing power and hopefully all will go well. While this is booting up, if you haven't taken a moment to do so, I would sure appreciate it if you would take a moment to like and subscribe. And when the video's over, feel free to leave comments down below, and I will be reading each and every one of those comments. The Pi is in fact booting up, and we'll see what we end up with when we're done. So far, it looks like a pretty standard boot process for Ubuntu Server. And we're given the login prompt. And so, whereas on a Raspbian based system, your username is Pi and the password is Raspberry, on the Ubuntu server, your username and default password are both Ubuntu, all lowercase. So give me just a moment to grab a keyboard and we will get logged in and find out our IP address. Alrighty, I am back with my keyboard and I'm going to go ahead and log in. And it's going to immediately prompt us to change our password. Again, the default password is Ubuntu. And we type in the new password 2 times. And it gives us some information here. Alright, so let's run top and see what we're working with. And htop. So it is showing all 4 cores, and we're using very little of the available processing power. This is also the 2 gig of RAM Raspberry Pi 4. So we are in good shape here. So let's see if there are any updates. And let it do its thing. And it looks like we do have a few packages that can be updated, about 26 of them in fact. And so I'll be back once this process is concluded. We are just a short time away from finishing up the updates on our Raspberry Pi running Ubuntu Server 18.04.4. And then we'll grab the IP address and log into it via SSH. Then we can really start having some fun with this. And hopefully this will wrap itself up here pretty quick. Alright, and we are all done with that. So we are going to issue IPA. And we are at 212. So let's attempt to connect with SSH. Alright, and it's prompting us that a system restart is required, so we'll go ahead and reboot the server. Alright, server is rebooted. We're going to go ahead and reconnect via SSH. So, now we've completed the basic installation. We are able to connect to it from another machine via SSH. And so the next stage of this is going to be installing the required software to get the print server up and running. Raspberry Pi Print Server Part 2. In this segment, we are going to install the CUPS print server. So we are going to say sudo apt install CUPS. All right. We have finished the basic install. And now we need to copy and make a backup of the CUPS D configuration file. So we're going to say sudo copy etc cups cupsd.conf etc cups cupsd.conf.reg. And then we're going to say sudo chmod a-w etc cups cupsd.conf.org. And so the next piece we want to search for is listen. And by default, server only listens on loopback interface. And so in order to have CUPS listen on the actual network adapter's IP address, you must specify either a host name, IP address, or optionally an IP address and port pairing via the addition of a listen directive. So we're going to add a line. Listen. IP address and the port number. Alright, so now we can save and exit our file, and we can restart the CUPS service. Sudo systemctl restart cups.service. And then if we do status, we will see that it is in fact running. Okay, so the next piece we need to do is add our user into the LP admin group. So we're going to say sudo user mod AG to add to group, LP admin Ubuntu. Okay. Now we can go ahead and try to open up in the web interface 172.16.74.212 port 631, and we are currently forbidden. So I guess we've got a little bit more work to do, and we've got to go back in and edit the cupsd.conf file again. so that we don't end up with the forbidden message when we try to log in with the web interface. So let's do sudo nano etc cupsd.conf, and we are going to look for location. We're going to comment out the existing line, and we're going to enter allow all. And then again, in location admin, we are going to allow all. Save our file again. And then we're going to restart cups. Sudo systemctl restart cups.service. And we'll run status and make sure it's back up again. And it is active and running. So we will try one more time and reload. And we do, in fact, get the cups web interface. All right, this completes part 2. I'm going to shut down the Pi, move it over to where the printer is, get everything plugged in, and reboot it, and we will pick up part 3 and see about getting the printer set up. Part 3 of the Raspberry Pi print server on Ubuntu Server 18.04.4. I have moved the Raspberry Pi over to the location of the printer, and I have reconnected. And so on our website here, the administration site for cups, we are going to go to adding printers and classes. And okay. So we're going to go to administration, and that is not liking us. Okay, so we're going to go back to the terminal. We're going to reconnect to the Raspberry Pi via SSH. And we're going to edit our config file once again. Let's see what we need to change here in order to get things up and moving. We're actually going to exit out of this. I'm going to try a command that is on an old reference page, but we'll see if it works still. Sudo cupsctl remote admin. And then we're going to restart cups and check the status, and it is running. Now let's jump back to the web interface. And that does load. We're going to go to administration, and we are in business. From here, we're going to do add printer, and it redirects us to the secure version of the site, which is fine. Add printer, and it makes you log in. And I added the Ubuntu user to the LP admin group earlier. And so we've got the options to add the Brother HL-4040CN, which is actually network ready, but this particular printer has the unfortunate situation where the network port is a little messed up and a network cable will not stay in and make a good connection. So we are going to set this up. It's a local printer. We're going to say continue. Name is Brother HL-4040CN. We're going to take off the series piece on both the name and the description. Location is office. And we are going to share the printer and say continue. And so it gives us the option to choose a driver, and that's going to be the interesting part. So HL-4040CN, which does not show up in the list. So hold that thought. I'm going to jump over to the Brother website. And we are going to see where their support is. And hopefully we can find a PPD file for this particular printer. It is discontinued. It's an older printer, I'll admit. But why mess with something that works? So, connectivity and compatibility, blah, blah, blah. Download system requirements, specifications. Let's do support. All I want is a driver. Downloads on our online solutions center. And according to this, it only supports Windows and Mac. And I swear I've had this working on a Linux system in the past. So we're going to grab the Mac driver, because I do believe that the Mac OS uses the same PPD files, and that's interesting. Okay, hold that thought. I'll be back. Alright, so Scratch going directly to the Brother site. I'm on openprinting.org. And we want to grab the driver here. And 4040CN, generate PPD file. We'll be able to save the file. And I'm going to put that in the Pi folder because that's what we're using it on. And that is downloaded already. So we're going to jump back to the Cups administration page. We're going to say Browse, Downloads, Pi, and select the Brother PPD file. Open, add printer, print quality normal, paper size is fine. This does not support duplex. We'll say set default options. We'll go back to administration. Share printers connected to this system. Change settings. And it's going to restart the server for us. And we'll jump back here. Once the cup server is restarted, there we go. Take a look at classes. Under printers, we do see our Brother 4040CN. So our acid test here is we're going to try to add it to the Mac. All right, printers and scanners. We're going to do add printer, and look at that. Brother HL-4040 at Ubuntu. It pulls the location. We're going to say add. All right, so we're just going to bring up LibreOffice. And we'll make up a little document here. And we'll go ahead and print. And we'll select the shared printer. And we will send the print job. Take a look here. And there it goes, firing up. All right. It did print. I've got a feeling that I may need some new toner for this old printer. But that gets us to a working state for the Raspberry Pi powered print server based on Ubuntu Server. So the next thing you'd want to do with this, of course, depending on your situation, is decide on other options for this so that you can actually print from Android and iOS and Chrome OS. So right now you should be able to print from Mac OS, Windows, and Linux without an issue. In fact, if we launch Splashtop, and let's connect to our Windows machine over here. And if we go to settings, devices, printers, add, and maybe Windows will find it, maybe it won't. We are going to say printer that wasn't listed. And we know the TCP IP address of the print server. Device type we'll leave at auto detect. Let's do 631 and see if it takes that. generic network card. And this is a Brother printer. And it gives us generic driver options. So we've got the option of grabbing the proper driver from Brother and going through the install process, and things should be copacetic from there. On Ubuntu, if my machine will let us connect, let's see, there we go. On Ubuntu, hey, look at that. I was editing a video over there. Get rid of that. Don't want to save it. Okay, on Ubuntu. This is an 1804.4 desktop system. Come down to devices, printers, and it does come up with 4040CN, and it's set and showing that it does not accept jobs. So we're going to attempt to print that anyways. So we will open up LibreOffice on Ubuntu, type out a short message, and we're just going to make the text a little bit larger. And we're going to attempt to print this. And we're going to do the 4040CN. Okay. And that did, in fact, fire up. Give me just a moment and I'll see what the printout looks like from this attempt. And my black toner is still good in that machine. Not bad considering I purchased the printer in 2008, I believe. Or 9, and I've not replaced any of the toner cartridges in this particular printer. So that is going to bring us to the end of the Raspberry Pi powered print server. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching. If you haven't taken a moment to do so yet, please like, subscribe, click that bell icon for notifications. Tell your friends, share on social media, and feel free to leave comments down below. Thanks again for watching, and you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.